managing service quality. So here you can see, first we have to know what is service quality, what is the importance of service quality. Service quality is required, or it is very important, because competition is intensifying in the service industry, and there's tough competition over here, and many firms downsize or they are forced to add more customer valued services in order to attract and retain their customers. We can see that there are many services which provide identical type of services. Identical means almost similar type of services, and these companies all have to compete with each other. And when this competition is there, it is utmost important that the quality of services should be different from each other. So for this purpose, service quality is crucial to the customer as well as the service firm. Nowadays, companies are fast discovering that quality is a very critical aspect, very important aspect in an organization's success. So moving ahead, we can see what is the importance of service quality, why it is required. Of course, it will help in retaining reputation, doing the service right at the first time itself, providing quality service, and because of this quality service, we can even charge a higher price. That is, quality service attracts premium price, help in gaining a sustainable competitive advantage. Now, these dimensions also you have to remember. I told you this contribution of Zaidmal, Berry, and Parshuram in service marketing. It's quite important contribution which they have done, quite significant contribution which they have done over here. The same thing, the same 10 points we were discussing later also, and when we were discussing about the self-call model also, the same 10 points are actually composed, or it is minimized into 5 points together. All these are equally important. What is the meaning of perceived service quality, and when will be the customer be a delighted customer, a satisfied customer, or a dissatisfied customer? You have to remember this topic, perceived quality. Perceived service quality is defined as the customer's assessment of the overall superiority or excellence of the service. These are judgments about the actual service performance. Before going to watch a movie, we might be having some kind of expectations in our mind. That is perceived service quality. Before going to a restaurant, we would be having some kind of judgment, some thinking in our mind regarding the food. That is perceived service quality. But one thing which we have to remember is that it need not be the same every time. What we are expecting, what we are thinking that we will be getting, and what we are actually getting, that would be different. So when the perceived quality is more than expected quality, we go to the restaurant, we like the food. Apart from that, they are also giving us a discount, or they are also giving some other coupons or anything like that. So that is something more which we had expected. So we become a delighted customer. And perceived quality, when it is equal to expected quality, we become a satisfied customer. Like, we went there, we liked the food, and we came back. That's it. Then perceived quality, when it is less than expected quality, we become a dissatisfied customer. So what is perceived quality? You have to remember, judgment about the actual service performance. That is, before experiencing a service, what do we expect? When you go to a salon and you ask for a haircut, and how did you expect it and how did it turn out to be? That is the difference between perceived service quality and actual service quality. Then we saw in this topic about gap analysis or gap model, customer service gap model, or the 5-gap model helps us to understand about customer satisfaction, especially in service sector. So in gap model, they are explaining about 5 major satisfaction gap or satisfaction area that the organizations must address. So gap kya hota hai? Gaps are this vacuum or something is missing over there. And these 5 important gaps are supposed to be fulfilled by the company in order to get satisfied by the customers. So 5 gaps, here you can see gap 1 to 5, customers' expectation, management's perception, service delivery gap, external marketing communication, and actual service performance. This we had seen in detail also. What is first gap 1? Gap 1 happens when what customer expect and managers think they expect. Basically, the customers are not able to convey to the manager or to the company what they're actually expecting. Then, second one is between management perception and actual specification of customer experience. Here, the problem issue is coming from the management side. 3 is when the delivery, the service delivery is not up to the mark. When there is some kind of issue in that. Fourth one is between the communication, what is communicated to the customer, and when there is a gap in that, what the company had promised to the customer and whether they are delivering the same promises or not. And gap 5 is between the customer's perception and the customer's expectation. That is overall, or we can say finally, the gap 5 results when all the remaining 4 gaps are there. It is gap analysis. Please read this, everyone. All of you, please read these points. Yes, done, everyone. I think all of you have read it. So you have to remember here there are 5 different gaps. And this, each and every company is required to understand where this gap is occurring and why this is occurring. Like here you can see reasons for the organization gaps. It may happen when the information is not being given proper, management either misperceives or they are not fully aware about the customer's requirements, or there is some gap in the standard. Then service performance, that is delivery, what the customers are expected. Communication gap happens when there is some kind of discrepancy or some kind of mistakes what is regarding what is being communicated to the customer. So these reasons should be understood by the company. They should take efforts to overcome or to minimize this gap. How to close the service gap? The service gap can be closed by learning the customer, establishing the right quality standards, ensuring that the performance meets standards, and ensuring that the delivery matches the promises. As we had seen, the company might be giving some kind of points, or like they might be advertising regarding something, and whether the same thing is being provided to the customers or not. That is how we can close service gap. Then, benefits of service quality. Why this is important, as we know, as we have already discussed, when competition is increasing or competition is intensifying, we need to have better service quality be provided to each and every customer in order to attract more and more customers, and also in order to retain the loyal customers. So service quality, when it is being improved, it will help to definitely improve the image of the company in the eyes of the customer, helps to improve the profitability, improve staff morale, increase productivity, help in reducing overall cost, encourage employee participation, bringing continuous improvement in the company, increase customer satisfaction, differentiate the company from the competitors, and minimize price sensitivities. Because of these points, each and every company will be coming forward for improving the service quality. Now, service quality management process, how it is happening: setting the right standard, implementing the quality service, monitoring service quality. And when we were discussing about this topic, we had already seen that monitoring service quality can be done with the help of various tools and techniques, like various statistical tools could be used, or even customer satisfaction survey could be conducted for monitoring the service quality. Then different attributes, this you can just read and understand. Certain points the customers are expecting should be there in a company when they are talking about, or when they what they're expecting. Like as a customer, what would I expect my company should, or how will I expect my company should treat me, or any other example you can take. How the customers are expecting to be treated. That is what is mentioned over here. Then prerequisites for achieving service quality. We have to remember that service is not a small process or small, it's not an event or an ongoing, it is an ongoing process. So it is not the responsibility of any one department. Instead, it should be a combined effort of the entire team or the entire business system. For that, there are certain aspects to be remembered. Should be having a visionary leader who can take the company forward. Then they should set high performance, and that is high performance. When do we show that in service sector? High performance we show when we are interacting with the customer, because in service sector, the service interaction is very important. Service interaction को हम लोग moment of truth भी बोलते हैं. During that interactions time itself, that standard should be known to the customers, because in any other way we cannot communicate with the customer. Then management commitment and support, preparing the employees well. System, there should be system for addressing the customer complaint and also system for monitoring service quality. With these things, we can try to improve the service quality continuously in the organization. Now, what is total quality management? Total quality management is again, we can call it as management philosophies, or it is actually some efforts which are taken by the company to improve, continuously improve the ability to provide good quality products and services to the customers. That is, it is commonly defined as a management policy or a way of doing business. Here you can see TQM helps in, or TQM is known as the organization-wide efforts undertaken in order to continuously improve the ability to provide goods and services that the customers will find of particular value. And it is a very important concept which is being used by companies around the world. Now, what are principles over here? They need to focus on the customer, then total employee commitment, integrated system, process approach, strategic and systematic approach, continual improvement, fact-based decision making, and excellent communications in the organization. So in service marketing, it is again having a very good impact. It does not look only at the quality aspect of one particular department. Instead, it is consisting of all the processes which the company is operating with. So it focuses on the quality of management in delivering products and services in a better way to the customers. Next comes ServQual model. That is service quality model. You have to remember about this name, ServQual model, service quality model or ServQual model. It was developed by Zaitman, Parashram and Berry, and it is a method to understand how quality experience is done from the customer's viewpoint. And one more thing you have to remember is that it is primarily a qualitative analysis, and it is depending on satisfaction survey conducted from the, or conducted amongst the customers. So it is a method that could be used by an organization to improve service quality. This method will help us to understand, or we can know where our company is standing and how we need to meet the needs of the customers. And here the perceptions of the customers are taken into account, and this will help an organization to prioritize its activities. Prioritize means which activity should be given more importance that the company can understand. Here 5 key dimensions you have to remember: tangibles, reliability, responsiveness, assurance, and empathy. When we discuss with an example, I'll again make it clear. Then where all it is used throughout service industries, and it is not only limited to only external customers, but it also can be used to understand the internal customers or the employees. It is a multi-dimensional approach. It can be used everywhere. How it is done? The customers are asked to answer numerous questions using a questionnaire, and values will be given to each of these questions, and accordingly the value would be calculated for each of the dimension. Why it is important? It provides detailed information about the customer's perception, what they're expecting, customers' comments, their suggestions, impression of the employees regarding the customers, and they can easily use it as a basis for tracking the customer's perceptions on a regular basis. And it is easy also to use this kind of model. At the same time, there are certain limitations also, because only 5 dimensions are taken, and there might be question regarding uniform applicability of this in each and every sector, each and every service sector. And while, as I told you, we will be calculating the scores or ranks or values over here, there might be problems when we are calculating the scores, and these scores should be used only in very caution, like very carefully these scores should be used. So these are the limitations of search Pearl model. Now what we are going to discuss is about, with an example, we are going to discuss how this 5 points, 5 key dimensions. Improving service quality in banking services. Now, I need all of you to join in the discussion over here now. When we are discussing about banking sector, what are we expecting? That is improving service quality in banking services using Serve Pearl model. Tangibles. First, सबसे पहले देखो tangibles. What are the tangible items which we see in a bank? Please respond, everyone. Tangible items क्या क्या दिखते हैं आप लोग? When you enter into a bank, what are the things which you see?
Machines.
I think I'm not audible, so you can put in the chat box. That's better. You can put in the chat box. Yes, yes. Machines, very good. So here, machines are there, machines would be there, employees would be there. So I will just tell you what are the tangibles which we will see. First one, okay. Excellent bank will be having modern equipments, then physical facilities like good seating arrangement for the customers, then brochures will be there. Bank statements could be sometimes statements, brochures, magazines and all would be there, kept properly. Then neat and well-dressed employees, as you told, employees are also important. Application forms, yes. What all things, tangible things which we see in a bank, how it should be excellent? It should be excellent when they are using modern equipments, when they are well-dressed, neatly dressed employees over there, and they are visually appealing physical facilities. Visually appealing means which is clean, which is good, which the customers are liking to see or willing to see. It is tangibles. Now reliability, see what is reliability? Reliability means we have a trust in the bank, isn't it? So how excellent bank will do that? Excellent banks will carry out what they had promised to do. They will show sincere interest in solving the problems of the customers. Initially itself, they will perform well. That is, perform well for the rightly for the first time itself. They will focus on error-free record maintenance also. So we have a kind of trust in them, because we are dealing with the banking institutions. We are dealing with our money-related matters, and when they are doing those activities which they had promised to do, that shows they are trustworthy, they are reliable. Third one is responsiveness. Excellent banks, employees of excellent banks will be very much responsive. Responsive in the sense they will respond quickly and promptly. How? They will tell customers exactly what should be done, giving prompt service to the customers, and always willing to help the customers. And they will also have the knowledge to answer or to respond to the queries of the customers. Then assurance. Assurance is again a kind of having a trust or willingness or instilling confidence in the customers, always being honest and behaving courteously to the customers, again having answered to the customers' questions, ensuring safety in the transactions with the customers, especially since it's a banking sector. And as I told you, customers' money, it's money related matter. So we need to ensure that there is safety in our money, that is safety in transactions also. Empathy. Empathy means we have seen now what is empathy. Empathy means stepping in the shoes of the other person. When we talk about the meaning of empathy, it means stepping into the shoes of the other person, means experiencing what the other person is feeling. So how empathetic can a bank be? It could be by providing individual attention to the customers, having convenient operating hours for the customers, and trying to understand the specific needs and requirements of the customers. So with these points, we can understand how the quality can be improved, and they will understand where they are lacking behind. If the employees are being made to wait for a long period, or if the employees are sorry, not employees, if the customers are made to wait for a long period, or if the employees are not quickly responding to the queries, or if the employees are keeping on turning away the customer, saying that aaj kam nahi hoga ya come tomorrow, they are keeping on repeating these things, then we can say that they are not up to the mark. The quality or the service delivery is not up to the mark. So for excellent service delivery, all these 5 points should be taken into account, and it should be considered also from the employee's point of view, from the company's point of view, and as well as the customer's point of view. Then only the customers will come back. Then only we will be able to retain the customers and even attract more and more customers.